Yes. Well, Tiger Woods' former wife, Elin Nordegren, broke her silence for the first time yesterday. But what came as a real shock was her admission that she had no idea her husband was having multiple affairs. And it seems she's not alone. We've been inundated with emails from viewers saying they were completely oblivious to their partner's extramarital affairs. So were they missing something obvious? What are the signs that one should look for? Clinical psychologist Dr. Wendy Walsh from Los Angeles joins us. A very good morning to you, Wendy.
Good morning, Kerri-Anne.
What was your reaction when you heard Elin, her admission she had no idea?
I think it was pretty normal. I think that's what happens. She was a young girl from Europe who came over here to work as an au pair. She had the model in her head of perhaps her father and the men in her social circle and family at home, and she probably did not know about the American or indeed international athlete and the kinds of lives they live and the sense of entitlement that many of them have and the permissiveness that exists in that culture. And I think she was young and she was busy having babies and nursing and building a home. I totally believe her.
And while you mentioned the reputation of an international athlete, on average in our real world, how often does this happen that people have no idea that their spouse is cheating?
Well, the problem with any kind of study, Kerri-Anne, on cheating is that most of them are self-reported studies. So a lot of people tend to lie about these kinds of studies. So it's, so it's very difficult for people to know really what rates of infidelity exist in our culture or any culture. You know, I've heard things as high as 75% for males, and I've heard as low as 20% for males. Women tend to have affairs a little less often than male partners, but they're closing the gap quickly.
Okay, well, for the real world, what are the signs that people should be looking out for?
Well, it just depends. Remember, there are two kinds of cheaters. There's the kind who suddenly is bored in their relationship, having their midlife crisis, going through some kind of angst, and decides that an affair will help them. Those people you can spot because they'll change their phone habits. They might get another cell phone. They'll be taking phone calls outside. They'll be turning off the cell phone when they're home. They might change their routine. Social activities. You might find if your husband is suddenly hanging out with single friends, watch out. They might change their work schedule that involves more travel, going to the gym a lot, work that involves more travel, and of course, their appearance, looking better.
Yeah.
But remember that plenty of people are natural-born cheaters, and they even cheat on their honeymoon. I mean, so you know, the habits don't change for some people. You hope to stop them before you get married.
Yeah, well, yeah. Look, but how do you do that? How do you and if people are cheating in a marriage, and I guess there's got to be a reason, does that mean it's all over?
Not always. I'm a big believer in forgiveness and understanding, and the way to bulletproof a relationship is always through emotional intimacy, learning to have compassion and empathy for your partner, learning the pain that you've put them through, learning how to really understand that an emotional commitment and an intellectual commitment means being responsible enough to have the I've got your back if you've got mine pact, and then honoring that not only for your partner but for yourself. And so when someone finally gets to that stage of moral reasoning, then they will be less likely to have affairs. Sometimes they only get to that stage after they've had an affair, suffered the consequences, hurt someone they loved. So I'm not saying you can't build a bridge back afterwards.
So just look at the reason why and how often it happened. Is that what I'm hearing here? Is it a serial cheater? Is it a one-off because I'm having a midlife crisis?
And also use the affair to come clean on both sides about everything to build emotional intimacy. I mean, it definitely takes honesty. It takes a lot of work. A lot of work to get to a place of forgiveness.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Most people are getting caught through technology these days, aren't they?
Yeah. Technology has made it so easy to have affairs and also so easy to get caught, because now there's a paper trail of phone bills and emails and texts that exist. But at the same time, these technologies can be used to create privacy, so that you could be sitting in a movie theater with your wife, pretending that you're dealing with a work email and texting your lover saying, I'll drop my wife off later and I'll see you at 10, honey. So it gives you privacy, but then there's also a trail afterwards.
Yeah, all live and learn. Dr. Wendy Walsh, thank you very much for your input this morning.
Thanks, Kerri-Anne. Good to see you.